Right, so just a short video, follow on from last night, or the last video. I'm now back undercover. I risked it, took the van and drove. I think there's further damage now done to the engine, I don't know. As you can see, it's pitch black here, but the van's undercover at least, and I can attempt to sort out the problems tomorrow. But I think realistically, yeah, I think this whole project is over. To be honest, the whole van life project is over. Yeah, right, so yeah, I'm on the van roof, as I say. I'm going to try and repair whatever this leak is, but there's a lot of water got in today. The van just kind of sat out in the water, getting more and more wet. And it just didn't really register with my dad. He's the only person I really speak to at the moment, or communicate with. I don't really speak to him. My mum's just a pure ignoramus, simple as that. And I find a lot of discomfort in actually referring to them in those as those names. Mum and dad, they're a disgrace. I mean, the stuff I haven't touched on is on the couple of times I have been able to come back here and try and work on the van or try and seal it or whatever. I've not really managed to get much done. I've had to beg for everything pretty much, but, you know, and they actually even think that they're being kind by providing electric. But yeah, the van is in dire straits at the moment. There's water all over the place. The mattress is soaked. Oh yeah, just to touch on the mattress. When I said I was going to have to come back here, my dad eventually conceded, much to his annoyance. Because obviously there's thousands of pounds here that will be damaged. He's aware that the mattress was is soaked through. But give him his dues. He did say you can park the van under the cover. Thumbs up. He did say that he didn't want to hear anything else. He then also said that you can stay in the van. Now, bearing in mind the mattress is soaked, he then added, he's kind, he can be kind, he added, I'll give you some foam so that you can sleep on that in the van. Now, I can't really put this into context. What I could do, in fact, actually, I've just got an email, hold on. Oh, lo and behold, it's from my dad. Oh yeah, let me put some of this into context as well for any of you that's still listening. Whilst I was here over the last couple of days and things, and then obviously when I had to leave because I'm not allowed to be here, and I had to leave and obviously put the van at risk of water damage, which they knew. Whilst I was here, I made the really cheeky attempt or request of maybe could I have some lunch, and what they did was, I filmed it. They provided me with bread and cheese and water. That was my lunch. But anyway, I speak to various different people. As I've touched on previously, I've got mental health problems and whatever, but I address them and I deal with them. I've seen a psychotherapist for years now who helps. He helps with the situation, helps me cope. And I think if people have problems, then it's worth actually checking out that sort of situation. So he's been great for me, my psychotherapist. But I was telling my psychotherapist today about the bread and cheese, and he said it's just disgusting that actually that people can treat people like that. It's like treating you like a leper. or a prisoner. To which I had to correct him. No, it's not. Prisoners get better food than this. Prisoners get better food than what my parents had to offer me. So anyway, I got the van back eventually. I think I've damaged the engine more. Everything else is damaged, so why not? Let's go for the whole fucking hog. And my dad then sort of monitored as I was reversing in, and then he came out as if he's some sort of fucking mechanic. Well, I can't see any black smoke. You know fuck all, Dad. You know fuck all about mechanics. Because if you did, you would have said something before, wouldn't you? You're just a fraud. You're nothing. So I just thought, fuck off. You don't know nothing. And I said that. Just fuck off. Fuck off, Dad. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? The engine's fucked. I haven't just decided to do this. To which he then continued on. And previously what happened was, remember I mentioned that well, I haven't actually mentioned this, but there was an incident before, and I'll get into this. There's going to be some real juicy videos coming up, but the main reason of this video is that I may not be able to do a video over the next for a period of time because I've got shitloads to sort out. I'm gonna have to I think I'm gonna have to rethink my whole life. But anyway, I'll get into him getting in my face and me having to back away from him and telling him to get out of my face. But then in the context, in the whole process of that, I mentioned to him about what people's opinion, and it's not just my psychotherapist, it's other people's opinion of the way they're treating me, and certainly just in regards to the bread and cheese, there's obviously far more, and as I say, that's due to come. That'll be in the next episode, whenever that be. But yeah, as I mentioned that to my dad, he laughed at me, and he said, oh yeah, well, all you're going to get now is bread and cheese again. Yeah, so you can beg for it. You can beg for your handout. That's what my dad said to me. So, yeah, what that email was him just telling me that he's dropped a little bag over here. So let's go and have a look at what he's put in it. Let's go and see if he's actually followed through with what he actually really says. I'll try and keep you with me while I go down the bloody ladder because I'm on top of the van, and we can have a little look at what's in the packed lunch or the goodies, shall we? Got my torch because there's nothing working in the van. All the electrics are out. They've been soaked with water. So where? Ah, hang on. There's the bottle of water that they've kindly provided. And what's in here? Shall we have a look? Let's take it in the van and have a look. Right, yeah. So I'm back in the van. And just to cut this short because it's a shit video basically. But yeah, just to finish off, let's see what's been left for me in this little bag. Oh, I need to leave that on, don't I? Let me try and recenter that, and then get the torch there. Right, so here's the bag, and just looking at it, you can see they've got. Oh, I shouldn't have been so quick to judge, should I? So I've not had anything to eat all day today. I've not been able to get lunch or anything like that because obviously I've been trying to wait for the van to get repaired whilst I visibly watch it get soaked. But yeah, let's have a look, shall we? Yogurt. Apple. And a tiny roll with a piece of salami rammed in it. Oh no, I forgot. And a spoon. So yeah, that's what my parents treat their kids like at a point of desperation and need. I'm in a van which is fucked freezing cold, wet. They are literally about 50 metres away in a house with 6 rooms, and I have to stay out here on a soaking wet mattress, freezing cold, with the dog. And just in regards to the dog, I remember my dad saying to me when I had to leave, what was it, 2 weeks ago or something, we'll look after the Prince, and I said, no, you can't be trusted. I was right with that one. He had to go up to a boarding kennels, but I was right with that. They can't be trusted. Do you want to know why? Because Prince is now not even allowed out in the garden that he's been spending for the last year. He's not allowed in there either. So they're cruel. They've got a propensity to cruelty as well to animals. And fuck knows. As I say, when the next video comes out, there is going to be shitloads of information. And I'm not going to fucking hold back. I'm going to expose my parents for exactly what they really are. Cheers for watching. Yeah, I just wanted to, because I wasn't really, I mean, it's a bit ambiguous, that, isn't it, the way I left that off, but yeah, and I know that there will be lots of people asking questions, and they'll be saying, oh, but what have you fucking done, and this and that, and you must have done something, or whatever. What's a 41-year-old doing back with his parents, and all this sort of stuff? Well, I'm back with my parents because I wanted to do the van over here. And I thought it would be better to do it over here than in the UK. Get down, Prince. Down. He's really disturbed at the moment. Really disturbed by what's going on. But yeah, what was I saying? It's what have you done? What have you done? I wanted to come back here and do the van, and actually at some stage I thought it might be quite good for my relationship with my dad. My relationship with my mum was shot ages ago. Actually, she is a real nasty piece of work. But actually, my dad's proved that he's of exactly the same ilk. He's of exactly the same minerals. And another reason I wanted to just address this very briefly, and it will all come in the next videos that I start putting out, where I start really putting out some really quite graphic details of what they're really like. A friend of mine, who I spoke to today, I've spoken to loads of friends today, a guy called Andy, really good friend of mine. He's a brilliant guy. And he said to me, he said, oh, what have you done? What have you done, Neil? What have you done? And I said, well, I haven't done anything. And I know, you know, but people were saying, yeah, but you must have done something because your parents wouldn't really do that. Let me put some of this into context. They're not my parents. They were adopted me when I was 1. And over the years, I've realised that they don't have the minerals to parent. They haven't got any sense of unconditional love or loyalty or whatever. Family and kids and everything like that is a choice to them, just like everything else. Friends are a choice. Family is a choice. You know, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. No. As far as my parents are concerned, you can pick everything. It's all a choice. And when it doesn't suit you, you just push it away. So I said, yeah, no, I've done nothing, Andy. And I then said to him, let me put that question back to you, Andy. And this was the key. I said, run through your head what I possibly could have done in order to deserve this. And his exact response was, well, yeah, you've got a point there. I don't know, because my mum would ever do that to me. And there you go. Most parents, I'm pretty sure, wouldn't do that to their kids. And that's what I say, the proof's in the pudding, and there will be far more proof coming up soon. My parents are a disgrace. They've failed 100%. And history will say that. And at the very last knockings, they are now actually taking a lot of pleasure in being really quite cruel and abusive. But as I say, that will all be yet to come. Yeah, a lot to deal with, a lot to think about, and yeah, and I will have to think about sleeping in this wet, cold van. They didn't come forward with the mattress or the foam. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate everyone that's watched so far, and I think the reality is van life is out, because the van's fucked. But I'll think about something and see what I do and whatever. But yeah, whenever there's an update, there'll be an update. But there is shitloads to address and sort out at the moment. But anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching.